video, it is time for lesson 153 in language. I don't know what page it is. Alright, hope y'all are feeling good and that y'all are ready for language and you're not groaning and all that. I miss y'all. Oh, just like calling you up here and talking and playing PE and eating lunch and even studying, all that fun stuff. I miss it. But anyway, it won't last forever. Maybe for the rest of this year, but alright, let's jump in. Yesterday we talked about complements. What does a complement mean? Complement is a sentence completer. Alright? We also talked about the first type of a complement, which is direct object, which is a noun or a pronoun that follows an action verb. It must be an action verb, and it must answer the question who or what. Let's go to Think C. We're on page 272. Think C. Step number 1. Find the action verb and label it A, V. Don't underline it, just label it. Number 2. Ask who or what before the verb to find the subject and label it subject. S. Say the subject and verb together and ask whom or what to find the direct object and label it direct object. Alright, maybe I should change this to whom. Whom, it's more proper. Alright, number 1. Have your pencils ready? The magician pulled a rabbit from his hat. What's your action verb? What's the action that you could do? Pull. So you're going to label it AV. Use this marker so you can see it better. Ask who or what pulled to find your subject. Who or what pulled? What's your subject? Magician. The magician pulled. Alright? Now to find your direct object, which is the sentence completer, you ask whom or what. Magician pulled whom or pulled what? What is your direct object? Your direct object is rabbit. It would not be from or hat or anything like that because rabbit answers the question whom or what. Actually, you know what we might do? We're going to put prepositional phrases around. Go ahead and do that because you know that direct objects cannot be prepositional phrases. So we're going to add step number 4. Or maybe step, like the step before you do step 1. Because it's a good idea to do it the first step to find prepositional phrases. We'll follow these instructions. Number 2, Mom wrote a check for the groceries. Any prepositional phrases? Mark prepositional phrases. Alright, what's your action verb? AV, wrote, you can write. Ask who or what wrote to find your subject. Mom wrote. Ask whom or what to find your direct object that completes the sentence. Mom wrote what? Check. Mom wrote a check, so you would write direct object. It's not that hard, is it, y'all? It's fairly easy if you do your 4 steps. If you break it down into little sections, it's not a problem. Number 3, do your homework early tonight. Any prepositional phrases? No, there's no prepositional phrases. What's your action verb? Something you can do. Okay, your action verb is do. Ask who or what, do or did, to find your subject. Who? Who are they talking to? You. What kind of sentence is it? It is an imperative sentence. Alright? So make an imperative sentence. The understood subject is you, and put an S over it. You do what? You're trying to find your direct object, ask the question, what? You do what? Homework. You don't do early, you don't do tonight. You do homework. If you ask who or what, it helps you so much to find your direct object. Okay? Do the rest of this section by yourself. You can pause the video. Alright, let's read the green box together. If the direct object is a personal pronoun, it must be me, you, him, her, it, us, or them. It cannot be I, you, he, she, it. It we, they, I forgot. It cannot be subjective case pronouns. It must be me, you, him, her, it, us, or them. Your direct objects must be objective case pronouns. Let's go to think D. So this is where we're going to be using objective case pronouns. Because remember, a direct object can be noun, which these are, or a pronoun. All right. Number 1, underline the correct pronoun. Number 2, label the S, A, V, and D, O. All right. Number 1, Jesse met Logan and blank at the bus stop. Find your prepositional phrases. Prepositional phrase is at the bus stop. Put parentheses around. These are not in your instructions. It just helps you find all your other words easier. What's your action verb? Met. You can meet someone. Who met? Jesse met. So Jesse is your subject. Mark it with an S. Met should be marked with AV. Now let's find your direct object. Jesse met who? Logan. And who? It cannot be I, you, he, she, it, we, they. Those are subjective case pronouns. They're used as subjects. It must be either me, you, him, her, it, us, or them. So your correct answer would be, underline me. Jesse met Logan and me. Jesse met Logan and who? Me. So it would be a compound direct object because there's 2 direct objects. So you would put D-O, direct object, over Logan, and direct object over me. The word me that you underline, you would put direct object over me. Let's do another one. She invited you and blank to go skating with her. All right? Any prepositional phrases? With her is a prepositional phrase. To go skating is not the prepositional phrase. We have not talked about this yet. Why? Because normally to is a prepositional phrase, so just let that go. Okay, no prepositional phrase around there. All right, what's your action verb? Number 2, invited, because you can invite someone. Mark it with an AV. Now, who invited? She invited, so mark it with an S for subject. So she invited. Now to find your direct object, answer questions. Who or what? She invited who? You and I or me. It would be you and me. Underline me. Mark both you and me with D-O on top. It has to be me. It cannot be I. Okay? I might get 1 minute, y'all. Direct objects must be one of these. I'm going to put it right on the board. So when you're doing this section, you're going to do the rest of them by yourself. It must be the objective case complement. Objects, direct objects, okay? It cannot be subjects. It cannot be subjective case pronouns. It must be objective. So any word you underline in Think D must be an objective case pronoun. Do the rest of the section by yourself. Let's go to 273, page 273. Detecting direct objects. Let's look at the word, look closely. The object of a preposition will never be a direct object. So we talked about this before. If you have a prepositional phrase, your direct object is never inside your prepositional phrase. Let's jump in. Think A. I do not have these sentences written on the board. I probably should be. So I'm kind of telling you what the sentences should be. So try to follow along, and I'll try to be clear. All right, think A. Underline each subject 1 time and each verb 2 times. So notice we're not marking the S and the AV for subject and action verb. Number 2, write DO above each direct object. All right, number 1. Have your pencils ready. Jesus loves the little children of the world. Find your prepositional phrases first. It's going to help you. I promise it's going to help you. Find prepositional phrases first. Prepositional phrase is of the world. Put prepositional phrases around it. It takes that chunk of words out so you don't have to think about it. Now, Find the verb. What's your verb? Loves, because you can love someone, okay? Find the subject. Who or what loves? Jesus loves, so that's your subject. Loves is underlined twice. Jesus is underlined once. Now find your direct object. Ask whom or what. Jesus loves who? Jesus loves children. So children, you don't underline it, you mark it with a DO because that's what your instructions say. Now to check, see if it makes sense, read the subject, verb, direct object together. Jesus loves children. Yes, that makes sense. If you would have underlined little, if you say Jesus loves little, no, that doesn't make sense. So that's why if we read them together, and if it makes sense, then you know you found the correct direct object. Let's do another one. Mark read the parable of the sower. Find prepositional phrases, which is of the sower. All right, what's your verb? What's the action verb? Because it must be an action verb because we're talking about direct object. Must be read. No, not right. Read. You can read. Who read? Mark read. So Mark is your subject. Mark is underlined once. Read is underlined twice. Now mark your direct object by answering the questions, asking the questions whom or what. Mark read what? Parable. So mark parable with D-O. Do the rest by yourself. If you get stuck and you're like, well, Miss Candace, I don't know where to go, look at these 5 steps. This will tell you exactly what to do. Now remember that find the prepositional phrases is an extra step, but it will help you. All right, think B. Label the subject, verb, and direct objects in each of the following sentences. Y'all are getting so much practice with this. It's so wonderful. Okay, let's do the first two together. Mother picked some pretty flowers for us. We are not underlining anything, we're marking it. Find your prepositional phrases. Mark them. Number 1 would be for us. For us is a preposition. It takes all those words out. You don't have to worry about those words anymore. Now find your action verb. Your action verb is picked. So mark it with the verb. Number 3, find your subject. Picked. Who picked? Ask who picked. Mother picked. So mark the subject with an S. Alright? Now we have to find the direct object. We ask what questions? Who or what? Mother picked what? Flowers. Mother did not pick some. Mother did not pick pretty. Mother picked flowers. Alright, so that's a noun. Mother picked flowers. Let's do one more. Grandmother read a story to my little sister. Mark your prepositional phrases. Your prepositional phrase in here is to my little sister. Put parentheses around. Now, find your verb. Read is your verb. So you would mark it with a nice V because it says something that you can do. Now ask who read. Who read the story? Grandmother did. So grandmother, mark it with a nice S, so it's the subject. Okay, now to find the direct object, we ask who or what. Grandmother read a what? We took care of our prepositional phrase, so we don't have to worry about to my little sister. Because direct objects cannot go in prepositional phrases. So, grandmother read story. So you would mark story with a D-O for direct object. Alright, y'all. That was a lot of stuff that I just kind of said. I should have maybe had some of the practice ones, or like some of the first ones in the section on the board. So I'm hoping you can follow me. If you don't get it or it just doesn't make sense, let me know. And I will have some things on the board to help you with. All right, great job, y'all. Thank you for your attention, and I'll see you tomorrow.